live from the Cactus Creek at Ibri. He is the king of prime time, Ghana's undisputed entertainment laureate, and still the youngest old man in Ghana. Put your hands together, show some love for the indefatigable KSM.
It's the KSM Show.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, as you can see in my back, Christmas tree. Yedi blonya. Show some love for Christmas, man. and I'm so delighted today because on our Christmas episode of the KSM Show, who other can we host on this show than my good friend who happens to be the General Superintendent of Assemblies of God, Ghana, and also the lead pastor of the Cedar Mountain Chapel, East Legon. Folks, join me and show some love for our main man, the Reverend Wengam. Reverend Wengam is in the house. We're taking a short commercial break. We will be right back.
The KSM Show.
Merry Christmas. I am inviting all of you to Cactus Creek. We have a very, very, very packed Christmas season. Now this Saturday, September 23rd, we are starting with KSM on the grill. I'll be doing some amazing grills. Yes, myself, I did the grill talk. Come and join us for some amazing grills, and you'll be surprised how much you can drink and eat for only 200 Ghana. Catch us tomorrow, 23rd December, KSM on the grills. And then on the 24th, we have a buffet, a great local buffet with Dr. Alfred Adakwe, that classical singer. He'll be in performance, and that is from 1 to 6 p.m. on Sunday. And the rate for that is 250 Ghana. Then on Monday, fun day for the family and the kids, and they come and just enjoy. And by the way, all the buffets and the drinks and everything for the kids is free. If you're 0 to 5 years, it's free. If you're 6 to 10 years, you pay 50% discount. Okay? So let's see all of you this Christmas at Cactus Creek. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I will be there. I'll be grilling tomorrow, the 23rd. I hope I catch you on that day. And the numbers to call, if you have any questions, the main Cactus line is 055-039-5007. That's the main Cactus Creek Hotel line. If you want some information on WhatsApp, especially about our events, just send a WhatsApp to 053-644-0134 and you get a response immediately. By the way, Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope to see all of you at the Cactus Creek. See ya, Mima Muffin Shapa.
Cactus Creek. It is no longer Ghana's best kept secret. It's an open secret. So serene, so heavenly. And the meals? Just like home cooking. Cactus Creek. Your soul will thank you. Call or WhatsApp 055-039-5007.
Buy a house and pay in 5 years. Oh yes, it is possible. Afro-Arab Properties introduces Lamines Courts. You can own a 2-bedroom house in a gated community with flexible payment terms. With $57,000 or each CD equivalent, your dream of owning a house will be a reality. Enjoy 30% discount on one-time payments and pay $39,900 or each CD equivalent. Get a 5% discount when you make 40% down payment. Move in and complete 60% within 12 to 60 months. Then you can spread the payments of the remaining 60% in CDs at the current prevailing rate throughout the 60 months with no interest at all. There are more amazing packages made just for you. Project location is at Obeye off Oduman Ablekuma Road, close to Amasaman, Accra. For more inquiries, reach us on 0244-109-133 or www.afroarabproperties.com. Lamines Courts. Everyone can buy a house. Terms and conditions apply.
The reason. Azipa Essentials has good news for you. If you're in Takoradi and its environs, don't worry. You can pick up Azipa Essentials jacket at Ruler Unisex Boutique in Anaji, Takoradi, Queen of Peace in Takofo Road. Call or WhatsApp 0544 548766.
The KSM Show.
We're back. You know, I like to call you Revo. So when I was saying
sir.
Reverend, Revo, thank you so much.
What an honor to be on your show on Christmas Day.
Yes.
I'm blessed.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you on Christmas Day.
Wow.
Well, anyway, first of all, folks, you know I'm very, very arrogant. I'll come to your location, and then I'll invite you and welcome you to your location, as I just did. You know, we are at the Cedar Mountain Chapel, and I'm just inviting. Anyway, welcome. The last time I was here, you had just won the election. You were about to be inducted.
That's right.
And I came to the induction. I know there were so many people, you probably...
I saw you. You were in your white patakari.
Oh, you did?
Yes. And whilst I was there, my PA whispered, KSM is here. I said, wow. And my confidence level shot up. If KSM is there, then Ghana was there.
And it was a fantastic induction. Congratulations again.
Thank you, KSM.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, it's really, really, really remarkable. And I remember the last time we did this interview, I asked you, how does it feel to be General Superintendent? And at that time, you said you still haven't felt it yet. You know, sometimes you have to actually pinch yourself to remind yourself. Now, are you on the level you feel you are now the?
I would say 70%.
70%.
Because sometimes, funny enough, when I go to a place and they are introducing General Superintendent, you know, recently I was, so after my induction, I was also elected the Vice Chairman of the Africa Assemblies of God Alliance.
Africa Assemblies?
The whole of Africa.
Wow.
We have,
Wow.
yes, we have 20 million members in Africa and 98,000 local churches in Africa. And then subsequently, I was also appointed a board member of the Church Health Committee of the World Assemblies of God Fellowship.
Wow.
So we focus on making sure that local churches are healthy, both spiritually and then physically, making sure that the church doesn't experience lopsided growth. We are growing spiritually and physically. Yeah.
That's interesting. That's some kind of holistic growth that you are trying to
That's right.
attain.
Yes.
Spiritually and
then
physically.
Perfect. So 70% it has sunk. We are still working. I hope that one day I'll reach the 100% level.
Then you know that I'm now the General Superintendent. Now, I know this may be a crazy question, but because I know the Catholic Church, they have the whole Vatican, then the Pope is up at the top, and then everybody is, you know. Do you have something similar in Assemblies of God? Do you have a main head and then the various branches?
No, Assemblies of God is a unique church. We model our church structure after the New Testament church, the early church. So what happens is that each local church is quite autonomous. And each church in every country is autonomous. But then at the World Fellowship level, we collaborate, we fellowship, we share ideas. We try to be accountable to each other. But then every local church, every country is sovereign in terms of administration. Even though our church began from the USA in 1914, we were born out of the Azusa Street Revival, one of the biggest revival that hits the world in the 20th century. So we don't have a world leader. So at the World Fellowship level, when all general superintendents will meet once in 3 years, then we will vote and choose primus inter pares. I mean, one person one amongst us who will chair.
Okay.
And then guide the fellowship so that we remind ourselves of our uniqueness, our doctrines, so that we don't deviate from what makes us assemblies of God. Yeah.
I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the trajectory. You're the main man, Ghana, Assemblies of God. You're the main man. You have been elected vice for Africa. And when it comes to the World Board, you're the chairman.
I'm a board member of a committee at the World.
Oh, board member at the committee.
Yes,
okay.
of one of the committee, Church Health Committee.
But the way it's going, do you see yourself as a chair? I'm talking about the whole board on the world level.
No, but if God so wills it, KSM, I've learned to take one day at a time. I've learned to keep a very modest expectations, even though I have wild dreams, crazy, because that's what the Bible commands us. It says God does far, Ephesians 3:20, God does far more exceedingly abundantly, more than what you can imagine. But I try to keep also a modest expectation. I hate to be disappointed. I get frustrated when I'm unable to achieve my goals. So I take one day at a time. Now it is Ghana, it is Africa. I'm serving on the World Committee, if it so pleases the Lord. Because my election as the vice chair came as a shock. I was elected in August, handing over done in September, induction in February. Then in March, we hold all the general superintendents and general secretaries meet in Ghana. I was new in the office, and this is the first time a general superintendent of Ghana has risen to that height, vice chair, from 1931, since our church was established. I go for the meeting. I was only the host in terms of hosting where, yes, they did it in Ghana with the facility, making sure that the accommodation, all that. And then we go for the elections. They say all general superintendents come forward. It's election. So I was even protesting. I said, my friend, I said,
yeah.
I went reluctantly. Then they said, for the general for the chairman, it rotates among the blocks. We divided Africa into 4. So we have, I think, we have West Africa, we have North Africa, we have South Africa, and then Central Africa. So it's now the turn of Central Africa. So all the general superintendents came forward, and we elected the Gabon general superintendent. Then they said, vice, we should all come forward. So we go and stand there. I was the number 3 person. The first person said he's not interested. Then I was going to decline. Then I heard in my spirit, but this man is from an Anglophone country. They will need a vice chair from Francophone.
Francophone.
No, we are Anglophone.
We are Anglophone.
Anglophone. So
yes.
Francophone chairman. Before KSM, I could make a decision. They gave the mic to me. Then I said, well, let me err on the side of caution. Okay, I'll present myself. KSM, and almost among them, I was the newest. Some have been in office 10 years, blah, blah, blah. When I said yes, everybody, I declined. By the time they finished, about 30 general superintendents, all of them declined and said, Wengam.
And opposed.
And it was amazing.
Wow.
And then they tried to find, I said, but you don't know me. Then they said, we watched your induction. We were following social media since you took office. I was like, wow, we should be very careful in life.
It's become a very small world now.
Now, people monitor and can follow what you are doing or who you are easily. Yeah.
So it was like a complete surprise.
Complete.
Right.
My wife, people started calling her. My wife didn't even know, because I couldn't imagine I was going to stand for such an election. I knew there would be election. And Johnny just come. Yeah. Johnny just come. I'm minding thinking about my new office, trying to settle in. So the last thing that would have been on my mind was to go
for
another position. And then it comes. But I've learned one thing in life, KSM. When history beckons you, when the opportunity comes to serve your generation, go ahead and do it to the best of your ability. So I embraced it, and we moved on.
Fantastic. Well, first is the embracing. You say when the opportunity comes to serve. There are many who will embrace because they like the idea of the role. So they embrace it. But when it comes to the service, they are found wanting, or there's something lacking. What's it for you that inspires you to serve and makes you so determined and always ready to serve?
KSM, those who know me will tell you, if I will not serve, I won't accept it. I'm a workaholic. And I believe that this life is about making impact. One, leaving a legacy that others can be inspired. And most importantly, glorifying God with your life. So, so these are the three that motivates me. That don't just walk through this life. Methushael is always my example. He lived over 900 years. The Bible had nothing to say about him except that he lived very long. Over 900 years. And nothing, the Bible couldn't record anything significant. That
Yes, that he lived long.
He lived long. And I don't want to be that kind of person. So, when you have the opportunity to make an impact out of 26 million people or whatever community you are, for me, I think that it's not because you are the best, that's why you are offered opportunity, but it's an opportunity to contribute to your little quota. And so for me, that is what drives me. When I accept a responsibility from day one, I hit the ground running. Because what is the guarantee you serve your full term? Death can cross your path. So to sit there and think that 4 years, I can go 2 terms.
Yeah.
No, I don't look at it that way. I'm looking at it, listen, what if death meets me anytime? So today, I want to give my best. And that's why even I've been 1 year in office, and people recently attended our meeting, and I was looking at within 1 year what we have done. And people are like, gee, it's like we've been in office for 4 years, 5 years. Myself, I was shocked. So that is, legacy, impact, and most importantly, glorifying God is what inspires me to serve with leadership and to do it with all my strength.
And I think I am learning lessons now, even though I'm much older than you.
much older.
much older. You know, legacy and glorifying God.
And impact.
And impact.
Yes, sir.
Very, very important. That whatever time that you have to commit to anything, you have to leave a legacy and an impact.
That's right.
Folks, I hope you're listening, man. This is pearls of wisdom coming to you at no charge, man. Talking about leaving an impact. The last time we spoke, you talked about some thematic areas that you were focused on.
Yeah.
You know, I think you talk about rebuilding, rebranding, repositioning.
Yes.
The last one was
reform and reach.
And reach, yeah. How far have you gone with your 5 hours?
6 hours.
6 hours?
Yes. Well, to help those probably who never watched that clip, I believe in vision, and anytime I'm offered opportunity to lead and to serve, the first thing I do is to come up with a vision. So I came up with a vision, presented it to my team, and they bought it and made input. So now it's become the vision of the team. Now it is Christian, the transformation agenda, anchored on Micah 4:1-2. That says, in the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple shall be the highest. It shall be raised above the hills, and the nations will flood into it, saying, come, let us go to the house of God, that we might learn the ways of God. So KSM, that scripture clearly shows that the end time church, we are in the end time, must be prominent, influential, resourceful, impactful. We must provide leadership. We must be visible. We must be huge. Because highest of the mountain. What does that mean? Then, so that is why we want to reposition as sons of God. We must reflect these attributes. Then he says the nations will come into it, global missions. In other words, our impact must go beyond the borders of Ghana. We must not only reach souls in Ghana, but beyond. So the 6 hours, the first reach, wanted to plant churches in every town and village. Fortunately, along the line, the World Assemblies of God Fellowship came up with a vision called MM33. His mandate, our mission. By 2033, Christ's ascension would have been 2,000 years, exactly. So the World Fellowship of Assembly of God have come up with a vision that we're going to plant 1 million churches in the next 10 years. Now, when we met, then they gave quotas that every Africa we should plant 300,000 churches. So with 98,000 churches, it means each nation must triple your number. So Ghana must plant 12,000 churches, which feeds into our vision of planting churches in every town and every village and making sure that everybody hears the gospel. Then we also want to build infrastructure for local churches. Many don't have temples, and as we open churches, so we've launched a committee called the Legacy Temple Committee, and they've come up with building designs, very simple, and we're asking each member or every member or families to adopt one design and sponsor the construction of a temple in the village. We comes with huge blessings. Then we're going to build also, so that will be under rebuild. So under reach. Then rebuild. We're focusing on capacity building. Since I came, we've done the Transformational Leaders Conference, couple of seminars and conferences. A lot of our pastors who are in the villages who cannot have resources to further their education, and that's we want to have in-house seminars. Yeah. Then also infrastructure development. And the main one, Assemblies of God will be 100 years in 8 years' time. We are going to build the biggest international convention center called the Assemblies of God Centenary City. A committee has been inaugurated. They are looking for a location and a land, and they are far advanced. Then under reform, they are looking at administrative reforms, KSM. We cannot enter our 100th year just as we are without looking back. We're going to set up a committee. We're going to look at our 100 years journey, the low moments, the high moments, and the next 100 years. What kind of church must we be? Mirroring Micah 4:1 and 2. Then we are looking at rebrand. Listen, the times have changed. The church must be attractive and relevant, and your presence felt. So we are beginning to educate our pastors to rebrand our churches. And now we were in Amsterdam for a leadership conference called Empowered 21, when global church leaders we met, and we said now the focus must be on the youth and children. That now there's a shift from the Millennials to the Generation Z. They, if you look at them, they are from 12 years and below, and they will determine the future. Any church who doesn't focus on this Generation Z and also on the Millennials, you are out. And recently I saw some videos where some of the mainline churches were complaining that their churches are becoming empty because their services are not attractive to the youth. So aging Ghana, we are shifting. If you remember at my induction, so this agenda is focused on 3 core values: shifting, growing, and transforming. So we are shifting from the old ways of doing things, shifting to become relevant. Look at pragmatic ways of doing ministry. We want to grow at all levels. We want to transform.
I don't want to cut you off, but speaking of being relevant and also talking about the millennials, you know, what specifically is AG doing to attract millennials? Because they seem to have a very different mindset. How is this church repositioning itself to be able to make itself attractive to millennials?
Good. So our what we call executive presbytery meetings was only focused on the regional superintendents and the executive presbytery officers. Since I came, I've done 3. I bring all the district pastors, regional leaders, and departmental leaders. We are reorienting them. The last one was in November. And they are catching the fire. How to reach the millennials. Then the next thing we are doing is beginning to empower pastors to make their local churches attractive. So the construction of your temple, make it youth-friendly, child-friendly, mother and child-friendly, make your services quite brief, and allow the youth to lead. We're asking them appoint more young people to lead. Look, they are full of wonderful ideas. So bring them to the mainstream of decision-making. Let them feel part of the church. Most of them we push the young people, we think that they are rowdy, and we say tolerate the excesses. When they come to church, they have a way of expressing themselves. If you're not careful, you think they're disrespecting God. No. I mean, KSM, look at the
This is
the
getting so
millennials.
exciting, but I have to take a commercial break. So give me 1 minute to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll take it from there. Show some love. We'll be taking a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
The KSM Show.
Merry Christmas. I am inviting all of you to Cactus Creek. We have a very, very, very packed Christmas season. Now this Saturday, September 23rd, we are starting with KSM on the grill. I'll be doing some amazing grills. Yes, myself, I did the grill talk. Come and join us for some amazing grills, and you'll be surprised how much you can drink and eat for only 200 Ghana. Catch us tomorrow, 23rd December, KSM on the grills. And then on the 24th, we have a buffet, a great local buffet with Dr. Alfred Adakwe, that classical singer. He'll be in performance, and that is from 1 to 6 p.m. on Sunday. And the rate for that is 250 Ghana. Then on Monday, fun day for the family and the kids, and they come and just enjoy. And by the way, all the buffets and the drinks and everything for the kids is free. If you're 0 to 5 years, it's free. If you're 6 to 10 years, you pay 50% discount. Okay? So let's see all of you this Christmas at Cactus Creek. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I will be there. I'll be grilling tomorrow, the 23rd. I hope I catch you on that day. And the numbers to call, if you have any questions, the main Cactus line is 055 039 5007. That's the main Cactus Creek Hotel line. If you want some information on WhatsApp, especially about our events, just send a WhatsApp to 053 644 0134 and you get a response immediately. By the way, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas to you all, and I hope to see all of you at the Cactus Creek. See ya, Mima Muffin Shapa.
Cactus Creek. It is no longer Ghana's best kept secret. It's an open secret. So serene, so heavenly. And the meals? Just like home cooking. Cactus Creek. Your soul will thank you. Call or WhatsApp 055 039 5007.
Buy a house and pay in 5 years. Oh yes, it is possible. Afro-Arab Properties introduces Lamines Courts. You can own a 2-bedroom house in a gated community with flexible payment terms. With $57,000 or each CD equivalent, your dream of owning a house will be a reality. Enjoy 30% discount on one-time payments and pay $39,900 or each CD equivalent. Get a 5% discount when you make 40% down payment. Move in and complete 60% within 12 to 60 months. Then you can spread the payments of the remaining 60% in CDs at the current prevailing rate throughout the 60 months with no interest at all. There are more amazing packages made just for you. Project location is at Obeye off Oduman Ablekuma Road, close to Amasaman, Accra. For more inquiries, reach us on 0244 109 133 or www.afroarabproperties.com. Lamines Courts. Everyone can buy a house. Terms and conditions apply.
The Wizard. Azepa Essentials has good news for you. If you're in Takoradi and its environs, don't worry. You can pick up Azepa Essentials jacket at Ruler Unisex Boutique in Anaji, Takoradi, Queen of Peace in Takofo Road. Call or WhatsApp 0544 548766.
The KSM Show.
We're back. And it's getting very exciting because before the commercial break, Revo, you're talking about letting the young ones take the lead And people have problems in understanding where the young ones are coming from
Yes.
and whether they are capable of handling such a lead.
KSM, I've been advocating for this. When I went to the U.S., I was invited by the General Superintendent of the U.S. Assemblies of God. They are huge. They are about 3 million members in the U.S., and then they have missionaries in 150 countries. In fact, currently, the membership of Assemblies of God worldwide is 85 million. I mean, these are not cooked figures. These are verifiable figures. And America alone has missionaries in 150 countries. Now, when I went there, I discovered something. They have moved and shifted to the extent that KSM, on the executive presbytery, they have a slot for a leader under 40. So when they are voting, there's a constituency. They vote for one seat for somebody who's under 40 to
Under
be
40.
on the executive presbytery, representing the millennials, how they think. Then women, affirmative action. They have created a seat for a woman. So they vote the women constituency. And even now, currently, their general secretary is a woman. The first time in their over 100 years. Even America, it took them a long while. Do you know the irony about Assemblies of God Ghana? The missionary who started our first branch in 1931 in Yendi was a woman. But we ordained women in 1971. Can you imagine? From 1931.
To 71.
A woman started our church, yet it was in the 70s and 1980 before we ordained women. But another time we'll talk about that. I mean, that is a system, the culture, mindset. So we are saying that encourage the young people. Trust them. KSM, this generation, they are smart. They are what it took you 20 years to learn, I bet you it is taking them a year, 2 years to learn. So in every church, if you want to attract them, let them be represented at the top leadership level and allow them to play major role and then tolerate their excesses. Try to learn, understand how they think. If you come and see me here, in my local church here, it's about 60% youthful. And I play with them. Recently, one of them said, Pastor, since you became GS, you've not changed. I mean, the way you relate to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank God. So they want you to be their friend. You see, before they open up to you, they want to be sure that you understand them. So you, the leader, you must come down, make them your friend. So I interact with them. Sometimes I call them. They're like, hey, Pastor Wengam, hey, GS has called me. And, you know, and they are
It's a
happy.
good feeling.
Yes.
It's a good feeling.
And you must also try to dress like them. Yes, in a year, I block one particular month where I go casual. Normally, Assemblies of God, we are very official on Sundays, in a suit. But not only wearing the jeans and the rest, you know now the young people, the trousers is slim fit. Even the bar is very slim.
That's what you're doing now.
So they are watching you. They want to be sure. I mean, so sometimes not only the normal one, the jeans and the others, but watch their sense of fashion and try to flow. So they trust you when they see that, oh, Pastor, oh, wow, Charlie, look at Pastor's dress. Before I shifted, one of them came to say, Pastor. I said, wow, Pastor. And when they start that, then you know they want to say something. He said, your bar. Hey. I said, wow, my I said, what do you want to I said, Pastor, you see Charlie now, the thing should be small. I said, oh, that's all. So I called my fashion designer. I said, oh, he did it. Then he said, Pastor. So that's how you attract them. And my wife is also doing very well. Not only you. They call my wife Mama Dollar. I don't know how they got the title for her. You see, because they don't like dealing with you on your official name. Like KSM. That's what they want. You know, as soon as they deal with your full name, then they feel that you are up there. Revo. You see how they relate? So my wife is doing very well with them. She's their friend. If you vote at Cedar Mountain Chapel, my wife will win.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. She's their main person all over the place. Wow. So that kind of relationship with them also helps win them and maintain them and attract more. The Millennials and the Generation Z.
Fantastic. So we are looking at seeing a whole bunch of a shift. Even with the attendance and the kind of people who attend.
And the kind of things we are doing. Unfortunately, some people misconstrued me. You know, people don't understand change. So when I said shifting, some thought I was denigrating what my predecessor had done.
Okay.
Or what do you mean by shifting?
Yeah.
So I took time to explain. I said,
Explain, no.
KSM, after my tenure, the next generation who will come,
Yeah.
they will have their own set of ideas. So I said the shifting is not to say that they didn't do anything. I mean, I'm too intelligent.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my election speech and you were there, my main speech, I acknowledge what they have done. The shift, we are shifting from things we are doing that are no longer relevant, that will not take us into the next 100 years. We are shifting and focusing on the main thing, missions, church planting. You know, go to a time, not only as all of us, the church digress a little bit. We see, KSM, we were not focusing on the means to an end, not the end in itself. The mission of the church is to evangelize the world. So the schools we are building, the infrastructure, they are supposed to, is a means to an end. But now we are no longer doing evangelism. We are not focusing our money on the building, the infrastructure, and social activities. So if I say shifting, we are shifting focus. For example, this year, the theme we declared was holiness. I mean, this is one of the core values of Pentecostal Christians. But for many years, we are not emphasizing holiness. And in the Assemblies of God, it has caught fire. This year, all our teachings has been holiness, and we've seen the impact. People are now more conscious. They know that you can still be holy in times like this.
And I'm glad you just made this point, because if you look at as part of your R's,
Yes.
it's like rebranding and reach. What seems to be prevailing now, many people seem to have this impression now, and I understand sometimes, that Christianity is really not doing too much to Africans in terms of it is not making them dynamic. It is dulling their senses. They think that some God is responsible for everything, so why make the effort, you know? So that has been one of the charges leveled against Christianity. Say, you know, Ghana, you know. In terms of trying to rebrand and reposition, how do you address that question?
Yes. Yes, KSM, fortunately for us, one of my predecessors, the late Reverend W. Donto, who was a General Superintendent, during his tenure, launched the Assemblies of God Professional Network. Unfortunately, it fizzled out. I don't know what happened. I have come to revive it, and we're about to relaunch it. We're bringing all our professionals together to address this issue you're talking about, and then also we are trying to encourage our pastors to make our sermons relevant. Emphasize on the role you must play. See, God doesn't work in isolation. God works with us, through us, and for us. So anytime Jesus Christ performed a miracle, he didn't do it alone. It's a half faith. Rise up and walk. After he has prayed for the cripple, he said, rise up and walk. So God has healed you. If you don't rise, he will not walk. So in our teachings, and if you watch Assemblies of God, one of our strengths is called the Sunday school. No church in Ghana, all over the world, has systematic Bible study for its members than Assemblies of God. So for example, when you come to church, either before the service, we have 1 hour Bible study. It's called Sunday school. And we have a manual. And if you watch the past 10 years, we in trying to address this issue, now we are dealing with topics that are relevant day to day.
That people can relate to.
Perfect. Very, very practical things to correct this misnomer.
Yeah. Because it's really a widely held belief, and I think that whatever church is positioning itself should be thinking about how to add relevance.
So at Cedar Mountain Chapel,
Yeah.
one of my favorite quotes, and people have identified it with me, which is, God will not do by miracle what you must do by responsibility, by common sense, and by simple obedience. If you come here, that is a common phrase. God will not do by miracle. What you must do by responsibility, by common sense, and by simple obedience.
Because I think that's a message that needs to hit home. Because everybody, or not everybody, those who seem to be relaxed and thinking that God is going to do some miracles, they have a misconstrued sense of what. The last time we spoke, you said something about something frustrates faith.
Yeah, you frustrate grace. That is
you
laziness.
frustrate grace.
Yes, when you are lazy and inactive,
Yeah.
you frustrate the grace of God.
So generally, do you think Ghanaians or Africans are to a large extent frustrating the grace of God?
Yes and no. Yes, because of this lack of understanding, maybe our forebears only focus on the spiritual aspect of Christianity. We are going to heaven.
Yeah.
So people were not conscious of the earth.
The earth, okay.
But KSM, there's been a shift. So you watch. Now, people are not patronizing too much of miracles and all those things. Now you watch. Pastors will tell you. People are becoming wiser. So if you're a pastor, those who only overemphasize miracles, they are now becoming teachers. Now prophets, look at their churches. It's going down.
Yeah.
Because people have gone and received prophecy and nothing is happening. Because
Nothing has come out of
when
it.
God gives you a prophecy, you must also go and work for the prophecy to happen. So when people go and receive prophecy and they see that nothing is happening to their lives, so now all over the world, those who have the larger churches are teachers, pastors. Look at Archbishop Ajanasare. It's one of the men God has used in working miracles. We were sharing one time, and look at his teaching ministry. And he alluded to that. So the system is changing.
Okay.
Yes, the days of where people are only desperate when you have all night they'll just come. Yes, but now they want something more. Look, this year holiness, I've preached more than 144 sermons on holiness in this church. KSM, sometimes I am hard, the kind of things I say. And I get shocked every Sunday the place is filled. So one day I interviewed the members. I said, I say this hard thing. They said, Pastor, we are tired of the God will do it too. Now we've seen that we too.
Yes.
We must play a role.
You're having an impact for them to know that they also have a role.
Wow.
People have a role to play. Okay, great. Let's shift from the spiritual bit.
Okay.
Talking about relevance to the latter picture. I'm taking Ghana. You know, next year is an election year, and of course, this is the first time that religion has become a factor in our politics. Of course, because the MPP chose Dr. Bawumia, who is Muslim, and JM, who is Christian. So all of a sudden, religion has been injected into this whole scenario of who do we allow to come and lead the country. From where you sit, what can you say about this kind of thinking that is cropping up?
Well, I think it's also, it's healthy, it reflects, I'm talking about having, it means that religion, Ghanaians are religious, and that's what is reflected in the two major parties. My only caution and the only worry and fear is where we'll play the religious cards, you know, at the detriment of the unity, the stability of the nation. And much depends on the two candidates, because some videos are making the rounds, which is quite worrying. And I want to appeal to my colleague, heads of churches, pastors and leaders, that let's be measured, you know, in our comments, and let us deal with the vision they bring on board. Let's look at their track records.
Yeah.
Let's look at their competences. I mean, and then of course, for faith, yes, that one I will leave that to the individual. Leave that to the individual.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us are people of faith and religion. And you do as your religion and faith dictates. But you see, if you only vote based on religion, you'll be disappointed. And that is the problem we're just discussing, where we're only overemphasizing spiritual. So if you vote only based on religion, then you may have a problem. So beyond religion, we must look at their competences, their vision, their track record that they are bringing on board. That is what will save this country. Of course, like I said, your personal faith is also crucial.
Does it worry you at all that it might not go that way, but then the whole concept will be too much steeped in the religious factor?
Yes, I'm worried. Yes, I'm worried. But then we just have to keep, and that's why I like KSM Show. You draw our attention to things that we would normally neglect, or you move away from the emotions. So I'll plead with all those who have the platform to address people that let us keep drawing the attention of the people to the critical issues. As for the masses, they'll go with the emotional things, the religion. But then we have to keep saying, hey, beyond religion, beyond Christian, beyond being a Muslim, what? Because being a Christian and Muslim cannot save this country. The competencies of the person, the vision of the person, the track record of the person is what will save this country.
Folks, it's getting very, very exciting. So we'll be wrapping up here very, very soon. But trust me, this is our Christmas message, but I can't let Reverend Wengam go. Next week, we'll continue this discussion because we are now getting to the meaty part and the relevant part that we should all pay attention to. So, Revo, in conclusion, I like what you said about let's not make religion the dominant thing here. You know, fine. The faith can allow us to be Christian, Muslim, traditional, whatever. It's fine. But you are saying beyond the faith, beyond the religion thing, let us examine competences, vision,
and track record.
Okay. So, folks, on that, we wish you a very Merry Christmas. Actually, I'd like to give you a Christmas message before we come next week. So, over to you.
Thank you, KSM. Dearly beloved, it's Christmas. Hallelujah. Glory to God. Christmas is a wonderful time when God gave us his best. When God expressed the highest form of love, gave us his only begotten son, Jesus, who came into the world, guess what? To save man from man's biggest problem, the sin factor. So as we celebrate Christmas, let's reflect on our lives and know that Christmas is about you being saved from sin. So let's allow God to work through us. Let's give our lives to him, and let's trust God to live a holy life, a life that pleases God. Then Christmas is relevant. Then it will have eternal benefit for you. Or else, yes, eating the chicken. Now chicken is no longer a Christmas meal. But then all the fanfare will only make you relevant here. Wish you Merry Christmas. I wish Ghana Merry Christmas. The whole world. God bless us all. Amen.
Show some love, man. So I think we come back next week to conclude on our beautiful discussion. KSM signing off and saying, as I always do, we are out of. Let the whole world say, yeah.